It was full. Where? What was full? There was a pretty popular post yesterday on TikTok about veganism and not being perfect. Yeah, it's always funny how people come, oh, what about your shirt? What about your shoes? What about, you know, this? It's like, bro, I make sure that it's like cotton. You know what I mean? Like it's made from fabric. It's not made from leather. Like you act like that. Like that's the hardest part for us to stay consistent in or something. Honest question: When you went, when I went vegan, I'm assuming, how long did it take for me to get used to going vegan? Not that long. I already was like not too big on certain animal products. I never really was a fan of like chicken legs and things like that. But not that long. I'm a pretty when it comes to food, I'm definitely like a big foodie. But it's very easy for me, and I think that's probably attributed to my like fitness journey of being what's the word I'm looking for? Determined, discipline. That no, it was not hard for me at all. I know, it is for some people, but again, it's not about being perfect. As long as you understand, what these animals go through and you make that connection and you say, hey, I don't want to participate in that. And you try, you take it day by day. Some days you're going to fuck up, some days you're going to mess up. But through time and practice and, you know, changing your perspective on life, you will eventually, it will just be easy. That's a call wallpaper, to be fair. Call? What do you mean call? Cool? Cat? Wall? Cool? Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool. That's funny because everybody's always asking if I'm a furry. No. I just was like, oh, it'd be cool to have like animals at a coffee shop, since we're vegan and we love the animals. Okay, so now YouTube is working. So let me. Nope, that's not it. That's my YouTube. Let me see. Let me change. Whoopsie. It to this. So now. Okay, what do we got here? Let's go to my live. Excuse this. I'm gonna try to get YouTube chat on here, so y'all can see YouTube and YouTube can see you. Oh, I gotta mute this. Sorry for the double audio. And then I think that's YouTube chat right there. Do. Yeah. We'll put this like right here. So now anybody that joins in on the YouTube side, you can see them. I'm gonna have to shrink some of these lettering. I forgot to do that. Food discipline can be hard. That's why the U.S. is obese. I don't think it's hard. I think it's a lot of things. It's a factor of a lot of things. Generational habits that you inherit from your family, advertisement, and culture for sure. When you're a very disciplined person when it comes to food, whether it be not only the food that you eat, but also things like drinking, like social drinking. Oftentimes you start to realize how society is pressured to do things like eat certain things on certain, at certain events, or if you're at I gotta move Turtle's name. If you're at like a football game, it's like common for you to just eat certain things. Like I think it's an amalgamation of a lot of things. It's not that just like food discipline in general is hard, and that's why people in the U.S. are obese. It's a multifaceted thing for sure. Like I said, generational bad habits, advertising, things like that. Every time I go out with friends and I don't partake in drinking, they always look at me funny. And that has nothing to do with me being vegan. That's just a personal choice. I'm just meh. I did a lot of drinking when I was young, and I went out dancing and clubbing, and that I think I've learned to feel comfortable in my own skin and realize that I can still have fun without drinking alcohol. And I think that's something that society tells us, that like you go out, you have fun, you drink, you party. So like that's a good example of why I think, um, certain countries are more obese than others. It's just like a cultural thing that you're kind of taught to do, which is, I think it's changing. People are being a little bit more health conscious. Sorry, Dao. You were battling out. Wait, somebody said something about I'm a beef farmer, so I find this stuff interesting. To be honest, like to see another person's opinion. Mm, yeah. I would ask, why are you a beef farmer? But you're more than welcome to ask me questions about veganism. I think that's the whole point of this sort of stream, just have a general conversation. If you're interested in learning about, a vegan's perspective, ha 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 ha, you're more than welcome to, pick at it and maybe learn something. And don't take offense to that. Which reminds me, before we get there, and Oliver, as I see you, I wanted to say this while I thought I had a lot of people in here. Should have waited till there was a ton of people. I'll wait till some of the YouTube people, if they get on, because I want to say something about veganism in general that I think might that people that aren't vegan might appreciate, because I know, fuck it, I'll just say it now since I'm just rambling. But a lot of times, I'll tune into some TikTok, some YouTubers that are going live and live streaming and having conversations with people in the public, and a lot of the times it leads to things like conversations about how vegans think that they're more superior to non-vegan people, or they're better than them, or it comes from a place of we're egotistical, that we think we're more superior than non-vegan people. And I want to say that, like, people have to understand that when you have conversations, what's up, Martin? When you have conversations with people about anything, politics, veganism, anything along those lines, you have to be willing to go into those conversations with the idea that you might leave with your mind changed. And, obviously we're talking about in a sense of like fact. Like if somebody's just the opposition of you and is just spouting nonsense, like it's not like you should just believe what they say, right? But oftentimes I think non-vegan people come into these conversations with vegans and they get offended because it's something that they've known their whole lives, and they think that this person is trying to tell them that they're doing it wrong. What's up, Lewis? That they're doing it wrong, and they take it personal. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's a person that I'm friends with who claims that they're vegan. And I remember seeing that they posted they went horseback riding, which I'm sure other vegans in this chat, if you guys are here, would definitely agree that riding horses is not vegan. And I'll keep it very short in the fact that, we shouldn't be riding animals. They're not here for us to ride. And even if you said that the horses enjoy it, I can guarantee you, if I walked up to any non-domesticated horse and tried to jump on its back, it would just kick me off. Aside from all the things that happen when these horses are subjected to being ridden on, and the health issues they face through their old age. So anyways, long story short, let's get away from that. I just want to get back to the overall message, in that I saw that she was saying she's vegan. She claims to be vegan, but still rides horses. And, when something like that is put out there, it's not her fault if it's something that she hasn't thought about. What would make it unacceptable is if I went up to her and I said, hey, I know you're saying you're vegan, but, have you considered that you riding horses is a form of exploitation, and you're claiming that since you are vegan, you're against that, right? So, this sort of conversation appeals to also people who are not vegan, because if I tell this person, hey, you're saying you're vegan, but you're doing XYZ, you're riding horses, you're buying from breeders, you should take that into consideration. The appropriate thing would be to say, holy shit, I never thought about it like that, and to leave that conversation with that understanding. But to say, oh, don't tell me what veganism is, and don't tell me what I'm doing is wrong, or how dare you say, that sort of conversation is applicable in a sense of also people that are not vegan, because a lot of the times when they engage with other people who are vegan in conversation, they always take it personally. And the whole point is that maybe you're lacking in something, whether it be an understanding of what happens to animals in animal agriculture, what the processes are of what happens to them, how that is cruel, maybe making the connection of like understanding that, okay, the dog and cat that I have at home that I've built this love and affection for can share those same traits as these animals that I'm eating. Maybe I should go home and think about this. So I just wanted to say that in general, because um, I've seen people who always claim that they're vegan, and then do things like riding horses. And, it's not like I'm just going to leave and say, oh, she's not vegan, blah, blah, blah. I should confront and say, hey, like, have you thought about the horses you're riding? And that's the same thing, when a vegan has a conversation with you, for people in here that are not vegan, at least be open-minded, at least hear them out, at least understand what they're saying. Maybe if you disagree with what they said, look into it, because I can guarantee you the majority of stuff, as insane as it might sound to you, is definitely not fabricated, is definitely not untrue, and it is what happens. So anyways, I know that was a long rant, but I kind of just wanted to get that out there because I think it ties into definitely people, non-vegan people having conversations with vegans. So anyway, I hope that was spoke to somebody to some degree. Some non-vegan out there will be a little bit more understanding when they engage in conversations with vegans. But Ashley, no, I know that I'm a beef farmer. I was talking about the writing, yeah. But do you know what happens to the cows in that industry? I mean, I'm sure you do. Like, what do you think about it? What do you think about what happens to them? Well, I guess I would ask, yeah, first, do you know 100% what happens to them? Where they go, what they go through, what the processes are, and then, tell me maybe what you think about those processes. You should remove the cat and pig from the picture. No, I don't think so. Why? Why should I? In essence, that's essentially what it would be nice to be. Look, all those animals are having a coffee together in peace. Let me see. Wait, before I answer maximum efforts question, I saw somebody say something I wanted to not miss. To be honest, for me, I like hearing other people's opinions on things. That's good. You might leave with your mind changed, which is understandable. You're not in here trolling. So Maximum, you said, what about the animals that are killed for the plants I eat? If you're so concerned about like the animals that are killed in crop protection or crop production, you need to think about the animals that you eat, because you eating. I'm assuming you're also eating plants as well, not just animals. So you're also contributing to that. And in the same case, what about all the plants that the cow ate that you ate, right? So if your argument about caring about the amount of animals that are unalived in crop production, if you wanted to reduce that, it's more of a reason for you to go vegan. Hold on. Yeah, I understand cats are carnivores, but have you seen cats and dogs on farms? They usually just coexist. It's like having like a brother or sister. They just learn that like this is a part of their group. I have no problem with it. They slaughter for human consumption. Yeah, but it's not necessary, Freddie. So you're saying it like it's from a place of necessity, when it's not. Like you don't need to. All right, see you, Olivers. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully, something I said got you thinking. Hopefully. I do actually. I've had first experience. It's not nice to see, but it's how life goes. But see, that's the thing, Ashley. Like, it doesn't have to go that way, right? And especially like for you, if you know that it's not nice and you see it, you as just the one person that you are can say you don't want to support it, and you don't have to. You don't have to be the reason why that continues. And if it starts with just one person, if it starts with just you, that can go to the next person, the next person, the next person, you know? So you shouldn't think that way. You shouldn't think that it's like, oh, you know, that's the way it is. It's never going to change, because it most certainly is changing, and you most certainly do matter, you know? That's not true, Kevin. Not all. Like I understand that maybe you're thinking in that sense, but no, I don't think that's the case. Oh, somebody said something earlier about if vegans are against bug zappers. I don't know if you're in here, but I would think that like you would just take other methods first, other forms of methods first. Any other deterrent methods, like maybe, you know, preventative measures first. And if it got to the case where it was like life threatening or, you know, threatening to the people around you, whether it's like mosquitoes or whatever, and you just can't take any preventative measures, then that's what you got to do. But that's the point of veganism, you know. And this is for everybody in here that's not vegan. That is the whole point about veganism. It's not about perfection. It's about taking, like, unaliving something is the last resort. There are so many things you can do before that, like eat plants, like use preventative measures when it comes to crop production or crop protection, or, you know, invasive animals in your home. You know, you can take preventative measures first. And then if there's absolutely nothing we can do and it's life threatening to some degree, then unfortunately, you know, it is, you know, justifiable at some case. Sorry. So Dennis, I'm not sure if you're still in here. I see your YouTube comment. Let me respond to that. Probably not. Probably as non-vegan as a vegan constantly going on holidays on non-vegan planes because they enjoy travel around the world even though it's pleasure over necessity. Well, like, the thing about that is like we can only be as realistic as we absolutely can. Like some things are just unavoidable. You know, if you're trying to travel the world, you can take other routes of transportation, but, you know, until we do better when it comes to things like where we source our oil from or fuel from, or the technological advances of transportation, you know, change. We have to do, you know, we have to get around in some capacity. It's not to say like I'm a vegan, I just can't do anything. I can't walk outside because I'm going to step on an ant. I can't drive to work because I'm going to run into a mosquito. Like, it's just being a little bit ridiculous. We have to live to some capacity. But, you know, saying that, oh, I'm taking a plane that is pleasure, and it means I'm not vegan anymore, when you can completely remove and reduce in every other aspect of your life. And that's like about a huge margin of your contribution to what, you know, what happens to animals. Like, what, like, you know what I mean? I don't see that as a reason to like completely deny the entire philosophy of veganism. I'm off. Need to feed up. Been great talking to you. Look, Ashley. I hope, you know, we can at least have civil conversations. I see you're following me now, so I go live every day. You're more than welcome to continue to ask any questions that you have. I would just say, if you're still around, I'm not sure you are, you know, check out some of these documentaries. I mean, you know, you're in the beef industry, so you know what happens to these cows. But, you know, if you're ever curious about maybe understanding a little bit more, look into some of these documentaries on the screen. And I will just say, Dairy is Scary is very eye-opening, and it's only 5 minutes long, and it's free on YouTube. So if you're free, go ahead and check out Dairy is Scary. And, you know, start to think about, you know, how the animals might feel in their position. But thank you for coming by. I hope to see you in the future and maybe engage in future conversation. What do I think? Why do you think the crows follow the plow? They are feeding on all the dead animals? What? I mean, do you think, in the same way that you're trying to use some random thing that happens like crows following as a way to say, oh, look, there must be animals that have been, you know, run over there? I would say, do you think that a rabbit, a squirrel, a bunny, a mouse is just going to sit there and just let a slow, how fast do these things move? Like 10 miles an hour? Uh-oh, I blocked YouTube chat. I'll have to pull it on the side like this. Excuse me. How fast do plows go? Yeah. Oh, wait, that's not the right word. Not On a plow. Yeah, it's probably worms. I was gonna say that, Skellies. It's probably like insects and worms, not animals. Uh, tractor. 2 to 5 miles per hour. 2 to 5 miles per hour. That's about this. I think that's about the average walking speed. So rabbits and things like that will fucking dip out. I don't know if that's the case, and even if it was panhandler, it's probably such a small margin, you know. But again, that doesn't mean that it's a justification to not go vegan, because you're still avoiding the exploitation that happens to animals in other industries by a huge margin. So like the one rabbit does not outweigh the, you know, all the exploitation that all these other animals face. Yeah, the least amount of harm, Nika. Thank you. And thank you for being here. You're always so nice. I don't know if I believe that the rabbit getting confused. I mean, maybe you can give me a source on that, but it's pretty easy for a rabbit to just run away from the noise. That's no justification for being vegan. Absolutely, Martin. Absolutely. Combine harvester. Yeah, I looked up tractor plows. I'm sure combine harvesters don't go any faster than that anyway, but I might be wrong. I just imagine they go really slow. No reason to not be vegan unless you're selfish. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that goes back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, people usually get offended by engaging in conversation with vegans, and I think, you know, they need to come at it with understanding, and maybe hear the person out and explain why it's selfish. Is being vegan more of an animal activist than diet? No, Jesse. So veganism is not a diet. Like, you know, diet is a part of it because, you know, you eat animals, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, you eat animals. So being vegan means you don't want to participate in the consumption of animals. So veganism is about avoiding exploitation of all sentient life, you know? So yes, animals and other beings that can be sentient, right? So think about it in like what the word exploitation means, right? Using them for your purpose against their will or against their consent. So, you know, think about aspects like zoos or aquariums or circuses or any forms of entertainment. Like, those animals are bred specifically for that purpose, and only for the purpose of entertaining us, which is definitely exploitation. So yeah, being vegan and being an animal activist, you know, goes across all those planes and fields of animal exploitation. You know, one of the most recent videos to surface was them doing testing. I don't know if it was for cigarettes. Somebody correct me in the chat. I don't know if it was for like cigarettes or perfume or something along those lines, but it was a beagle. They were testing it on beagles. So they would take whatever it was that they were testing, whether it's smoke or perfume. I can't remember the exact one. And they take these cones and they strap these cones onto the dog's snouts. So they just absolutely can't take it off. And they pump whatever that was, whether it was cologne or smoke, into their snouts. And there's videos of these beagles just like, so you could tell, you don't have to speak dog, but you can tell that they were uncomfortable and they were trying to use their front two paws to pull that cone off of their face. So yeah, vegans are against that, you know. I was hoping somebody in the chat knew what I was talking about and could correct me if it was what it exactly was they were testing. But yeah, animal testing, you know, for makeup, what is it? You know, I don't know if we're allowed to say the V word, but, you know, needles, testing like that for humans, you know. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, Jesse. Yeah. Yeah, Skellies. Imagine how much more painful that must be, you know. AI enhanced videos listed above. I don't think you understand what how AI enhancement on videos work. Let alone you're talking about AI enhanced videos on documentaries that are like 5-ish years old. I'm an artist. I work in the entertainment industry. I've dealt with like actually generative AI myself, both for work and on personal projects. And you don't understand how it works. You're misinformed. There are definitely AI videos of like politicians and like the most recent one was the Hollywood sign on fire. But those things are so easy to spot. Like even my girlfriend who has no understanding. Granted, you know, I've like shown her things now because she's in my life, so I show her, you know, things that she's never thought of when it comes to film and TV. But even she can spot fake AI art. You know, these are people that go to these slaughterhouses and capture footage. To think that it's AI enhanced when it's like 95+% of what happens, you're crazy. Huh? So are the videos above, there is things in the videos that prove they are fake. Can you prove it? Prove it. You're making the claim that those videos are fake and I need you to prove it. So the test on beagles, yeah, see, you guys can see the YouTube chat, right? So Martin says that they test on beagles for almost everything, so. Damn, it's a quiet day. You guys need to tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Maybe that's what it is. Can I tap my own video? I'm not on my phone. I'm on my computer. I don't know if I can tune into my own live on my phone. I don't think I can, no. So I can't tap, tap, tap. Too much dependency on technology. What's wrong with dependency on technology? What's wrong with technology, period? It's created a lot of beautiful things, right? We now have the technology to study the the cellular evolution, or I don't know if evolution is the right word, but we can study the fact of understanding how a cell goes from being a cell to a cancer cell, and that's going to save lives. So I mean, that's a form of technology. I mean, here we are having a conversation about veganism and reaching out to a lot of people, hundreds of people. That's not a bad thing. It puts you at the mercy of the IT professional. I mean, anything is gonna put you on the dependency on somebody. I mean, that's the importance of growing with the times and understanding like not being stagnant in your education. Because, you know, you look at what happens to people now, you know, like my parents, who my dad is pretty tech savvy. He's an IT guy. You know, people try to scam them out of their money. They try to connect to their computers. You know, these things kind of happen, but there's a lot of beauty that comes with technology as well. It's not always just IT. I mean, yeah. But then that manufacturer is dependent on you and your business, because if your business didn't run, then they wouldn't manufacture it, right? Right. Everybody and every company has an incentive to some degree. That's the point of a society, right? I guess it's good that it's slow today because it won't bother me to end the stream at 2. We had a couple people in here asking about veganism. Phil said some nonsense and then left. I won't like my own stream because you said it shadow bans me. I don't even think I can. I know you can on whoopsie. What did I do? I know you can on your phone, but I'm not on my phone, so I don't see why it's not a good thing. If a company is created tomorrow, and then now they're dependent on the manufacturer, but now that company can hire people, and now that, you know, those people have jobs, which is important, right? We need people to have jobs because we need our economy to grow. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. You're thinking in like a conspiratorial sense of like depending on people is bad because you don't know. And like if you live like that in every aspect of your life, you're probably a very paranoid person, you know, or a very skeptical person, which is a good thing. Being skeptical is a good thing. You should always be skeptical of what people say. You know, how many times, like, not to get all, you know, but how, like, the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp shit that was going on, and now for all the ladies in here that watched It Ends With Us, and now that whole Justin Baldoni and Ryan Reynolds and why am I drawing a blank on her name? Blake Lively, like, you know, you should definitely be skeptical of what you hear from people, but yeah, but you said, see, like, you said it puts you at the mercy of the manufacturer, but you haven't explained why that's a bad thing. You just like you don't like being in control. You don't like being controlled by other people, but it has nothing to do with control. So what you're talking about is like the right to repair, which I disagree with. And I think there are people that are trying to get bills to pass so that isn't the case. And the right to repair bill means that like if I buy a product, I should be able to take it anywhere to get it repaired. I support that. That would be a nice bill to pass. But I think that it's been going on. I don't keep track on it. There's a couple of people I talked to about it. And I don't think that it's been gaining traction. But yeah, I think that's why I don't like Apple. I'm not a big fan of Apple because of that. But not every company does that, you know. So it depends on the company, and you know what warranty you get, what's covered by your warranty. If it goes outside of that warranty, you can then take it wherever you want. I think it depends on each individual company. Well, there's no software in if you're talking about Apple. No, I'm talking about like if my Apple iPhone, if my USB on my iPhone breaks, I have to go to Apple to get it fixed, or you like lose your warranty, which is stupid. Oh, I mean, yeah, every company has the right to make their own products proprietary to them. It's theirs. They made it, right? That would put them out of business if their ideas were, you know, shared amongst other companies, which doesn't matter because you can easily do that. Does anybody else have any questions about veganism? We got nothing but 7 people in here. Black Anvil, welcome. Ask me a question about veganism. Minerva, I think I'm saying it right. You got a question you can ask me about veganism? Ask me. Ask me a question about veganism. Ask. I'm open. Anything. My favorite, I don't know, type of carrot. You got me for 5 more minutes. How do I feel about eating insects? I would not do it. Definitely not. I know that like studies are coming out about insects having a higher understanding or higher consciousness than we have assumed, like bees being one of them. But I'm not educated enough to talk on the matter. I would just say, like, given the benefit of the doubt that studies are showing that bees and some ants show signs of, what was it about ants? Mourning? I think there was like a study they did about mourning their like fellow ants. That it's better to just give all insects the benefit of the doubt and just not eat them. What's my favorite type of carrot? I'm not a big fan of carrots, but like when you go to a restaurant and they have like those like multicolored roasted carrots with like oil and salt, that's pretty fucking good. But for some reason, like making carrots at home is always gross. I usually just like throw it in like my pasta, like frozen carrots. I'll throw in my pasta or like ramen. But carrots at home are never as good as carrots at the restaurant. You know what I mean? Oh wait, damn it! I need to like address people as they come in, and maybe they'll engage. What's up, Evan? Evan, welcome to the stream. Do you have any questions about veganism? Feel free. to ask me anything about veganism. Or if you don't understand what veganism is, you can ask me that. My favorite comfort food, pizza. Well, like sweet comfort food, like ice cream is pretty good. Any like salted caramel type of ice cream. Two known egoists. Welcome. Ask me anything about. Damn it, that's not a question. Can you put it in the form of a question? Egoist. If you put it in the form of a question, maybe I can answer it. Let me see. Chili, your favorite comfort food? Interesting. Why don't I like meat? I just think that the animal maybe deserves the right to live, not be turned into a sandwich, especially when we don't need to eat them. You can eat anything else. You can eat a veggie burger. You can eat a veggie pizza. You can eat nachos with, I don't know, tofu, ground tofu for Mexican meat. And why not, man? Do you have pets at your home? Have you ever had a dog or a cat? Have you ever built a connection with another animal at your home other than a human being? Do you have friends that have dogs? Do you have friends that have cats? Have you seen how much they like love them? How most people will say they're like they're fur babies, right? They're little children, right? Because these dogs, they have personalities, right? So the cows and chickens and stuff that you eat, they have personalities too, you know? So you should think about that. At least, like, if you don't know what happens to them in the animal agriculture industry, you should watch a documentary and maybe see what happens. This one right here, Dairy is Scary, is only 5 minutes long. It's a 5-minute long documentary. It's free. It's on YouTube. I mean, but like, is it okay if I said I'm just gonna eat your friend's dog because I know they taste good? Like, be logical, right? Be fair. Like, would that be okay? It wouldn't, right? Like when people hear about, the Yulon Dog Meat Festival, which is in China, right, where they boil dogs alive and eat them. People in America or anywhere else in the world, they're up in arms, right? They're like, whoa, what the fuck? If anybody did that to my dog, I'd come and I'd pew pew, blah 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 blah. You're right. So if people can get that bent out of shape for dogs, cows and pigs and chickens, they exhibit the same sort of behaviors and emotions, and they can suffer just as much. Why not extend it to them as too? Why not just say, I think that cows and everybody else also deserves the right to live. What do you think the documentary is biased against the cattle industry? I mean, what do you think? If I was trying to send a message, why would I like say, oh, I support the cattle industry, but here's my documentary about how what they do is immoral and we shouldn't do this anymore? It's not bias. It's just showing you what happens and says, hey, we don't need to do this. My cows, I would react the same way. But you do it, bro. Right? I don't remember what you do, Panhandler, but if you're a farmer and you have cows, where do you send them? Where's my lens cap? I think I've seen you in here before. Welcome. You have any questions to ask me about veganism? Daddy Bear Eats Plants. I don't know if I've seen you around before. Cattle and dairy are very different farms. Yeah, they are. But what happens to them is no different in that they're unalived at a quarter of their life. They're like 4 year dairy cows are 4 to 6 years of age, and then they're sent to the slaughterhouse, and when they can live up to 25 years of age, so they're like babies. Literally 1/5 of their lifespan they're sent to slaughter. And the only thing that changes about dairy and cattle is just the time that they're sent, and what they go through. As far as a dairy cow, being continuously forcibly impregnated through artificial insemination, constantly spitting out babies that are then taken away to either be turned into a dairy cow or veal, and then have the milk that was is being produced from them being pregnant, that's not going to the babies, given to people. I mean, it doesn't really matter how different they are; they're still subject to suffering and pain. Yeah, I know it's like 20. It's like 25 to 30. It's like the average is 25. I hate when cows cry. Makes my sandwich sour. Damn, dude. It's pretty cynical. I feel bad for you. Maybe you should really see one of these documentaries and then try to make that joke. And if you do go around making that joke after watching something like Dairy is Scary, a 5-minute documentary about the dairy industry, not graphic at all. It's not even the graphic one. It's like the least graphic one. And you still can go around saying that you hate when cows cry because it makes your sandwich sour. Then, my friend, you need a hug. Cows rarely live past 15. Let's pull it up. Do, 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 do. What happened to the cow at 17? Here, I'm going to see if I can pull it up on the stream. Can I pull it like this? Oh, where's the YouTube chat? Am I still live? How come this is not going over? I'm trying to pull something up. Oh, what did I do? Am I bugging? Can you still see the YouTube chat? Why is it not showing? Oh, because it's the browser. I see. My mistake. It says cow is approximately 20, but some cases of it reaching 30. However, this is rarely achieved in commercial farming due to economic and productivity considerations. Dairy cows are usually culled at 5 to 6 years of age, which includes 3 years of productive milking following their first calving at approximately 2 years of age. You don't have to leave, Bent. You can just ask me a question about veganism, and I'll just answer it for you. What's up, Math Chef? It's such a tongue twister. Math Chef. Math Chef. Beef cows generally live for only 1.5 to 2 years of age. Though if they're a breeding cow, they only live to 5 to 6 years of age. Sanctuary cows typically live up to 20 years of age. They lose their teeth at 12? That's sad. You would never ever go vegan, said every vegan ever. Why? Can you tell me why? I'll answer it for you, or maybe give you a response on why you think you could never go vegan. Dylan Wilkerson, what's up? Welcome to the live. I'm answering people's questions, and he's gone. Is he gone? And Damon left too, I think. Tristan, welcome. Have any question? Answering any questions of veganism? Oh, Damon is still here. Tastes disgusting. I don't know. I mean, what did you eat? Are carrots disgusting? Is oatmeal disgusting? Rice, beans, broccoli, lettuce, salad, tomatoes. I don't know. Are those disgusting? All those plants, apples, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, peanuts, cashews, walnuts, peanut butter, jelly, pasta, tomato sauce, marinara sauce. Now, if you're talking about, if none of those sound appealing to you because you're used to eating, junk food, I had Philly cheesesteak pizza the other day. Too many chemicals? I don't think you understand how your food is made. The most like probably unhealthy, I guess you could say, or like not even sketchy, but the most unhealthy thing about like some of the mock meats would just be like the oil, in my opinion, like the coconut oil. But you gotta be careful when you read the back of labels because, and I'm not a scientist, I'm just gonna say some random words, but it could just say like, I don't know, benzohyne sulfuric something, and that just is another way of saying baking soda. You know what I mean? Which is completely natural. So, or it might say one thing and it's actually like a type of salt. So, um, you should definitely like, if you're thinking that the ingredients on the back of something is harmful, you should Google what those ingredients are, where they come from, and you might be surprised that it's like, oh, it's just like whatever. Do I have no, I don't. I haven't gotten that ever. That's not vegan related. That's just I've never felt like I've ever really needed it. I don't really get the flu. Um, Vegan cereal, vegan granola mixed with soy milk. Yeah. I have a question, and you don't seem like an argumentative person. Go ahead. I hate typing. No, I'm not letting people love. I'm actually just gonna end the not conversation. Excuse me. I'm ending the live here in a little bit, and I don't want to get too engaged into a conversation because I gotta go. I have to get back to work. Otherwise, I might have to work this weekend. I don't want to work this weekend. But you can try to like give a general question. I know it's hard to type in TikTok, and I'll be more than happy to answer it to the best of my capabilities. But and it's nothing on you. I just don't want to get into like a too deep of a conversation because I want to end the live here in a little bit. Dihydrogen monoxide. Well, saturated fat. You're talking about animal products, right? Because yeah, I mean, if we're talking like comparatively, yeah. But I guess I was trying to answer that guy's questions about vegan food having too many chemicals. Okay, I think I know where you're going with that. Where's my lens cap? So I'll answer that. Um, you got to understand that even though you might look at a protester or an activist that operates in that way and say, man, those type of people tick me off, whatever. They do it for a reason. I'll tell you just the general reason of why is that like if you, my fellow human, if you were trapped in a cage by somebody holding you against your will, right? And they were using you for their benefit, would you want me to be out in the streets being like, hey, where's my lens cap? He really needs your help. They're abusing him and they're keeping him caged up. They're not feeding him, blah, 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 right? You wouldn't want me. You would want me to be out there fucking fighting like, hey, my fucking friend he's locked up. Like we need to do something. This is fucked up, blah, blah, right? So that's why they do it. And then I'll say my opinion on, because you asked me what my thoughts are on protesters like that. In the same way that you watch that and it turns you off, some people need to be talked to like that. And I don't mean need to as in like, oh, they need it. I'm saying like there are people who engage with those type of activists and that's what they need. That's the language they speak and they hear them and they leave that, even if they don't engage in conversation, they leave that interaction and they go home and they start to think. So I might be more laid back, chill, answering people's questions, and that might work for you. Like that's why if you look at activists all over, everybody's gonna do something different, And you shouldn't say that like, oh, this guy does it different from this guy, so obviously they're not on the same page. It's just we all need to speak to somebody in our own way, and this is what works for me, and that's what works for those protesters, right? But I don't say I don't agree with them. I 100% love some of my favorite activists, like Joey Carbstrong is super aggressive, right? And I love it, but I can't do that because I don't have it in me. So I don't find success in that for me. I like these type of interactions with people. I found success here, but I don't go around knocking other activists, you know? So that's my opinion on that, and hopefully that answered your question. But yeah, the easiest way I could think about it, and let's just say not in the way of activism. How many times in your life have you given your friend advice, right? And you say, "Don't date that girl, don't date that man, whatever, blah 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 blah," and then they leave that conversation and they're not. It doesn't seem like you really got through to them. And then somebody else says the same shit you said, and they're like, "You know what? You're right." And you're like, "What the fuck? I said that. I literally told you that, and you didn't do it." And now that person said, "That's why." You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna say it with a different tone, a different. They're gonna come at it with a different approach. So, yeah, vegans are all gonna come in all shapes and sizes, but we're all fighting for the same thing. Yeah, I know it pushes you away. I get it, but you know, I don't think it pushes you away because it's not like people leave and they say, you know what? I mean, people troll on the internet and they say, I'm gonna eat twice as much meat. You know what? Next time I go to McDonald's, that activist that pissed me off, I'm gonna get double cheeseburger. You're not gonna do that, right? If it doesn't vibe with you, you can still like maybe fact check them. At least fact check them because you might fact check them and realize, holy shit, you know what? They were right. And I might not react that way, but I can understand why they're pissed off. You know what I mean? So that's what I say about that. Yeah. And yeah, everybody's gonna be receptive in a different way. You gotta kind of know how to read who you're talking to and adjust sometimes, you know. But yeah, I don't blame the people who are just heated because what's happening to these animals in these industries is pretty messed up, man. It's pretty messed up, you know. And if I was them, I would want people fighting for me. So I can understand why they're so upset and why they're so aggressive, and I 100% respect it. So yeah, you should watch. I don't know. I'm assuming you're not vegan. Where's my lens cap? And I know, giving people like a laundry list of things to do can be daunting sometimes. But at least watch Dairy is Scary. It's a short documentary. It's absolutely free on YouTube. It's only 5 minutes, and it's not graphic at all. It's not graphic. And maybe it'll help you understand a little bit, why activists do what they do, and maybe make that connection to understand why they're so quote unquote inconsiderate to others. So yeah. What is true of plants that if true of animals would make it okay to consume them? I don't even know what that means. I'm not sure what that means, be honest. Yeah, I get it. And like, look, if you like these kind of lives, this is usually how my lives go. I just kind of sit here and answer people's questions. Today was kind of slow, but yeah, you're more than welcome to follow me. And I go live every day, Monday through Friday, at about the same time, 1 p.m. EST. And yeah, you can hang out and hear some of the conversations I have with people in chat, or even ask some questions yourself. So yeah. Is there a trait that makes it okay to consume plants and not animals? Sentience? The ability to feel pain and suffering? I mean, I feel like you're trying to argue for the reverse. So I would say the same thing, and why we shouldn't eat animals. They can't feel pain. They can't suffer. But yeah, so where's my lens cap? Thank you for asking that question. I really appreciate that. I'll end it here after this, your one question about what got me into veganism. in that it started as a fitness thing. It was more of a fitness challenge for me because I'm uh, big into bodybuilding, and I wanted to see, oh, everybody says you can't build muscle on a plant-based diet. So I tried vegetarianism. And then what made me really click the vegan part is I don't know. I said that I wasn't going to eat animals anymore because I don't support what happens to them. And then I started to realize some of the things I was buying in my life, like having a coat that had wool, or having leather boots, leather belt, leather wallet. And I said, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this makes no sense. If I'm going around saying I care about animals, but I'm still wearing them, that makes me like a hypocrite. I feel like I'm not, like they're still getting hurt for me. Obviously, they're being turned, they're taking their skin is being turned into a wallet, right? So, ever since then, I got a gift one Christmas year of a wallet, and I don't know, I was holding it in my hand, and I'm like, damn, this comes from a cow, and like, you don't need to have a wallet out of leather. I can just easily get, especially now, I could just get a Ridge wallet, right? Which is what I have now. I have a Ridge, like one of those Ridge wallet things. And I have a belt that's not made of leather. It's just made of plastic. And I have boots. I make sure when I go, you just check the label. It shows you what fabrics they use to make them. Like if it's made from cloth or made from animal hide. And I just buy the ones that aren't. You know what I mean? So it's been like that for 6 years. 6 years vegan and 3 years plant-based before that. So that's why I went vegan. That's what got me into it. And now here I am trying to, spread the good message to people. But so yeah, hopefully that resonated with you in some way. But I think I'm going to end the live here because I do got to get back to work. I don't want to work this weekend. Thank you everybody that came by and supported the live, followed me, and the few people that came in here with genuine questions, and hopefully they come back. Seems like they're pretty receptive, so I appreciate that. So I will catch you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST. Okay? Bye, everybody. And bye, YouTube. I'm going to start saying bye to YouTube as I close the stream. But bye, everybody on YouTube. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for showing support. If there's anything that you guys want me to do, whether it's, I don't know, anything I can help improve your experience. I should have asked everybody, but this is for you guys too. Anything I can improve your experience, maybe some other kind of content that you guys want to see, YouTube guys, I would be more than happy to do that. So yeah, so let me know in the comments or anything if you guys want more things. But thanks Martin, and thanks Lewis for coming by, and Johnny Vegan Seed for coming by. I appreciate you guys. You're always tuning in on the lives.